right, welcome to the second review of the evening. Up this time is What Lies in the Multiverse. What Lies in the Multiverse is a story-driven 2D adventure that one can call a dramatic comedy, filled with the brim, filled to the brim with hilarious and cartoonish hijinks. The narrative also presents the player with a mature and deep themes like death, envy, and obsession. Things inevitably will go batshit crazy. This is on the official bullet points here. Um, very fast in the multiverse when you discover the ability to travel between parallel worlds. These worlds are an alternate version of each level and differ in aesthetic, theme, and physicality. Switching between them allows you to solve logical and spatial challenges and to progress the story. Um, I think I've played a game like this before. Um, Probably published by Nintendo since they like the dual world gimmick so much. Anyway, so we were given the PlayStation 4 edition of this game. So over to Petty Fan with the details.
So yeah, this is a video game.
Yes, it
um,
is.
it's the jumping is fairly clunky, even though this is more of a platformer. So I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it's what we got.
Well, how much platforming do you do? Like,
Um,
are
it
there actual platforming?
it's
You know,
all
like,
platforming from what I can tell.
hmm. Yeah, yeah. I'm like, anyway.
Um,
So,
hmm,
are there any actual puzzles in this game
kind of.
outside of switching dimensions?
Well, that's literally the puzzles. You find a obstacle you can't pass, and you switch between worlds to see if it's different in the other world, or at least gives you something that you can use to get around it. Because you switch on the spot where you're standing,
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of like VVVVVVV or whatever.
V6.
Yeah, the game that has a whole bunch of V's.
I can see the resemblance. Like, though this is definitely in a different direction
Uh huh.
as well.
Yeah, that game is more when you jump you flip
Yeah,
all the way to whatever the ceiling is.
yeah, that that had a very different mechanic, among other things. This is reminding me more of like the Gianna sisters, like Twisted Fate or
I was
um,
gonna say a little bit of this reminds me of Eversion, but
yeah. I mean, it's definitely stuff we've seen before, like this multiverse. The switching screens concept is not nearly as fresh as I think the publisher wants us to think it is.
Mhm.
Like, and in fact, like this is at least to me kind of basic. Like, okay, you can switch dimensions, and yeah, you want to see what's different from the light world and the dark world,
I feel like when you're doing that, you
but
want to have a lot of optional objectives.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like, and this is you could definitely layer mechanics on this as well.
Yeah. Unless they do that in a later game, they don't really leverage it early game.
Mm. And like I said, what I'm seeing here isn't bad, but it's you know I don't know. It doesn't look like it's shifting outside of first gear,
Mhm.
but Petty, what are your summations on the actual mechanics, like the implementation of the dimension hopping?
Um, it's not the worst thing ever. Well, there
Is it
has
just
been.
tap? Is it just tap a button at any time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're stuck in a wall, it won't instant kill you. It will give you a chance to jump out. Well, to switch worlds and jump out.
That's good, I guess.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, and it doesn't look like there's any penalty for dying.
Right.
Um, I guess another question to ask here is: are there any sort of collectibles? Because usually a game like this will have either a required or optional trinket to get.
If there is, I have not come across it yet.
I saw a key in a door, at least.
Yeah, that's more of a puzzle solving element thing than, you know.
I, I would be very surprised if there wasn't, because, like I said, that's like standard operating procedure for a indie puzzle platformer. And it looks like we're in a village now.
At least some kind of diner. And we're talking to the guy Everett, who basically gives us the power to hop between worlds because our protagonist here ended up simulating a new world on his computer and screwed everything up.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's generally ill-advised.
Yep.
So yeah, you're basically, going around and trying to fix stuff. I don't think there's really any combat in the game, if that's something you're looking for. It's
Or
more.
not looking.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're not looking for it, this is a good game to recommend. Then.
Hmm.
I don't know. At least having story segments seems like a plus.
Mm.
Considering some games like this don't bother with having an actual thing besides get to the end of the level.
And anything about the music?
Very chip tuney.
I think that'll work.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
Not really. Like, anyway, so What Lies in the Multiverse is clocking in at $14.99 across all platforms. Um, Steam version does have a few DLC trinkets. Your typical soundtrack artwork deal for $2.99, $1.99, $4.98. Anyway, Petty, is this game worth $15?
I'd say wait for a sale. Like, it's not the worst thing ever, but 14 might be a little high. Like, if you can find it around 10 or below, that'd probably be the more ideal price for it.
Do you have anything on how long it is?
No.
Because that might make a difference.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that'll about do it for What Lies in the Multiverse. Be sure to tune in after the break, as the Galax will be reviewing About an Elf.